The power of a serene mind. Amidst the majestic mountains where the clouds and sky intertwined, stood an ancient temple nestled in the embrace of nature. This temple was home to Master Trí Viên, a wise and tranquil Zen teacher. Among his many disciples was Minh, a young man full of enthusiasm yet still burdened by doubts on his spiritual journey. One early morning, as mist enveloped the temple grounds, Minh rushed to find his master. His face revealed frustration and distress. "Master, I can't take it anymore!" Minh panted, his eyes filled with anger. Master Trí Viên, who was sweeping the courtyard, paused and looked at him kindly. "What is troubling you, Minh?" "Master, I see too much injustice and trouble in this world. When I try to do good, people criticize and slander me. When I endure in silence, they see me as weak and take advantage of me. My heart is constantly disturbed, and I cannot find peace." Master Trí Viên smiled gently, set his broom aside, and said, "Minh, come with me to the lotus pond behind the temple." Still holding many unresolved thoughts, Minh nodded and followed his master. The two walked in silence, accompanied only by the soft breeze and the distant songs of birds. When they reached the pond, Master Trí Viên gazed at the still water and said, "Minh, pick up a stone and throw it into the pond." Minh did as instructed. The stone splashed into the water, creating ripples that spread across the surface. The master asked, "What do you see?" "Master, the water is disturbed, and ripples are spreading far and wide." Master Trí Viên nodded. "Now, wait for a moment." They both stood in silence, watching. After some time, the water gradually returned to its original stillness. The master spoke. "Your heart is like this pond. When you are stirred by the words and actions of others, your mind becomes agitated and loses its tranquility. But if you learn to observe, to wait, and not react hastily, these disturbances will naturally settle. Only then can you maintain peace within." Minh stood quietly, pondering his master's words, though he had not fully grasped their depth. Hesitantly, he asked, "But master, how can I keep my mind calm when everything around me is chaotic? When people hurt me, when injustice happens before my eyes, how can I not react?" Master Trí Viên smiled kindly and stepped into the pond. He gently stirred the water with his hand, creating small ripples. Then he stirred more forcefully, causing the surface to churn with waves. "Do you see, Minh? As long as I keep stirring, the water will never be still. But if I stop, it will naturally settle. Your mind works the same way. If you constantly react and let emotions take over, you will forever be caught in a cycle of anger and suffering. But if you learn to pause, to observe without immediately reacting, peace will come to you." Minh lowered his head in thought. His master's words echoed within him like a resonant bell. Master Trí Viên continued, "Remember, you cannot control what others say or do, but you can control how you respond. When you cultivate inner stillness, no matter how turbulent the outside world may be, you will not be swept away by it. Just like the lotus that rises from the mud without being tainted, you too can live in a chaotic world while maintaining inner serenity." Minh looked at his master, his gaze softening. He bowed respectfully and said, "Master, I understand now. From today, I will practice observing more and not let negative emotions control me. I will learn to keep my mind still, like this pond." Master Trí Viên nodded in approval. "That is good, Minh. But remember, achieving inner peace is not something that happens overnight. You must practice every day, just as the pond takes time to return to stillness after being disturbed. Be patient and persistent." As the evening fell, the golden hues of sunset bathed the tranquil pond. Minh stood in silence for a long while, watching the ripples fade away. His heart felt lighter, as if his worries had drifted away with the waves. From that day on, Minh diligently practiced his master's teachings. Whenever he encountered challenges, instead of reacting immediately, he learned to pause and observe his emotions. Gradually, he found a newfound peace within himself, no longer easily shaken by external turmoil. And so, under the guidance of Master Trí Viên, Minh slowly came to understand the power of a serene mind. One day, he too would become a teacher, guiding others who were still lost in the ever-changing currents of life.